Oh, sitting pretty here on my FX30 is a brand new Cine lens from Sirui. You may know them for their fantastic anamorphic lenses that they make, which are quite budget friendly, and they also make tripods and lights. They've been expanding a lot lately, and this might be one of their best endeavors to date. A set of 3 Cine lenses, a 24, a 35, and a 55 for APS-C style cameras and micro four thirds cameras. And right now you can get them on their Kickstarter campaign for $309 each. And spoiler alert, these are excellent lenses, and you might want to pick them up. But let's just watch the video anyway. So big thanks to Sirui for sending out these lenses for review. They're actually called the Night Walker series. I only have 2 of the 3. The 35mm wasn't available at the time that they shipped these, so I got the 24 and the 55. There is also a 35, and it comes in this black as well as this gray gunmetal, and that one looks super cool, the gray one, but I really love this black one too. Look at the styling on this. This is a pretty lens. It is very well built. It feels premium, and it is premium, which is crazy because it's $309. If you're watching this after the Kickstarter campaign is over, it will be $349 for the black ones and $399 for the gray ones. The gray ones, apparently that extra coating to make it gray costs them a bit of money, so that's why it costs an extra 50 bucks. But I'm personally fine with the black ones. I think they look great. So these are Super 35 lenses available for the Sony E-Mount, the Canon R-Mount, the Fuji X-Mount, and also for the Micro Four Thirds mount. So as you can see, these lenses are the same size, which is great. And it's all 3 lenses as well, not just the 2 that I have, because if you want to swap them in and out of gimbals, they all weigh around 500 grams. They vary about 50 grams in the difference. But if you're running them on gimbals, which you often are doing for these types of Cine lenses, then you can swap them out, no problem. Also, if you're using a follow focus, which you often will do with Cine lenses, the teeth are in the exact same place. So just you swap out the lens, you can keep using that setup that you have. And all 3 also take a 67mm filter thread, which is great because if you are applying a filter, you can just slap it on to the other one, or if you have a matte box with a filter size like this, you can just slide this matte box onto all 3 as well. All 3 lenses are also T1.2. That is fantastic. It lets in so much light, and it's a T-stop, not an f-stop. F-stop is a theoretical value, so an f-stop 1.8 on one lens could be slightly different amount of light hitting the sensor from another f1.8 on a different lens, but the T-stops, it's measured. The light is measured from coming through the lens to the sensor, so the T1.2 should be the same light to the sensor on every single one of these Cine lenses. And so cinematographers on set, they want to know exactly how much light is going to hit the sensor, not around the amount of light that will hit the sensor. That's why the T-stops are important. The focus ring and the aperture rings turn very, very smoothly and very easily, I might add. So if you're trying to one-hand your camera with the lens, you can make adjustments just with your finger, no problem at all. Some people don't like it when rings are this easy to turn, and other people love it. It depends on your shooting style. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be using follow focuses anyway with the teeth built right in there, so that won't be an issue for people either way if you're using a follow focus. And in case it's not clear already, these are all manual lenses. There are no electronic connectors that communicate with your camera, and they also are not weather sealed. There's no rubber gaskets here, so you definitely don't want to take these out in the harsh elements. So focus breathing is well controlled with these lenses, which is great because when you're doing those manual focus pulls, you don't want the screen waving in and out. Very important to have well-controlled focus breathing lenses. So stopped all the way down to 1.2, you are going to get some beautiful bokeh. It is just nice and creamy, smooth. You get that really shallow depth of field, and the orbs, the out of focus orbs from the lights are wonderful. They're so clean. There's no onion ringing. Towards the edges, you do get some cat's eyeing, but that is completely expected. I love the quality of the bokeh coming out of this lens, and all 3 of the lenses. Well, I don't have the 35, but I'm assuming as well, because the 55 and the 24, it just looks fantastic. Now, there you are going to see some chromatic aberration when you are wide open, and you are also going to see some softness. It's not going to be quite as sharp at 1.2. The lens really shines at T2.8. If you stop it down to T2.8, you're going to get extremely sharp corner to corner, and the chromatic aberration will go away. And you might think to yourself, well, what's the point of having a 1.2 if you're going to shoot at 2.8? A lot of cinematographers will be shooting at 2.8 or T4 because they don't want that really shallow depth of field all of the time. It looks out of place in many shots, but when you do need it, it is there, like a nighttime scene, because they're called Night Walker lenses. You see the connection? So in the nighttime scenes, when you don't need things to be razor sharp, you just need a lot of light, these guys have you covered. And to have that for APS-C cameras makes such a difference. To have a T1.2, you can take your FX30 out now and shoot in S-Log3 in the middle of the night, and there you go, T1.2. You can still get fantastic Bokelicious shots. But when it comes to sharpness, when you're talking about cine lenses, you don't want razor sharp lenses, generally speaking. With the photography lenses, they are built to be extremely sharp. But when you are shooting the cinema, shooting human beings especially, you don't want it to necessarily be very clinically sharp. A lot of people stick pro mist filters, things like that, when they're using photography lenses. So when you get that cinema lens, you have more of a character, and your actual image is going to be a little bit softer in a good way, more flattering to human beings' faces, while still being a sharp enough lens to look in focus and look proper, but it just doesn't have that over sharpening that a lot of photography lenses do have. So these lenses have really impressed me. If you are a budget filmmaker and you're trying to up your game, you want some cine lenses, these things are no-brainers. You can get 3 cine lenses for less than $1,000 if you're watching it during the early bird special, and even if you're not watching it in the early bird special, they're $349 each. This quality of lens with a T1.2 for that price, absolutely bonkers. If you're looking for cinema lenses, check them out. You gotta check them out. So thanks again to Sirui for sending over these lenses for review for you guys. Let me know down below if cine lenses are something you're interested in, and if so, what is the brand of the cine lenses that you like. Maybe you'll want to pick these ones up. Let me know what you think. Write it down below. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.